I'm leaving now.
Lucy, my sweet.
I cleaned out the tiger cage and sorted all the meal bins. So, if it's all right, it's my turn to fix dinner.
Haven't you forgotten something, little one? Just one little thing.
Mr. Runser, please.
It's been a very long day.
I don't want to.
Now, Lucy, I thought we'd settled this last week. Don't let's forget who pays your salary. We're closed. Come back tomorrow. Wait! I haven't finished with you. I told you we're closed.
We're not here to buy, little man. We've come to sell.
You can't possibly have anything to interest me. These are extremely rare animals of the highest quality.
What a coincidence. So am I. That is the price for humanity.
Oh, please, don't.
And what else might we interest you in today, sir? Perhaps some virtue?
Not my animals, please. I'm begging you.
But what of honor, little man? At what price? Honor.
Oh, my God, no! That tiger is the rarest specimen ever seen.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright. The forest of the night.
VR 61661, report to precinct headquarters, code 3. Repeat, code 3.
I was just finishing up my 12 out on patrol when I got the call. Welcome relief, considering that the most action I'd seen all night was a schizoid grandmother doing the shimmy in her underwear in the second sector.
VR 61661, report to division headquarters, code 3. Repeat, code 3.
Last time I had a 3 was when some hooker vomited Thunderbird on Bryant's desk. Year and a half on the job, it was still the dirtiest. Where's Captain Bryant?
Took a sick day. Got himself this case of ptomaine poisoning. He asked me personally to run the unit in his absence.
Gouza was one of the old-time guys who took their knocks in the streets. He had a friendly way about him, but you didn't want to turn your back on him if you were less than a friend.
Hope you've been enjoying your leisure time, kid, 'cause it's time to take that thumb out of your ass.
Hallelujah.
Don't get too excited. The other Blade Runners are all up. Holden's sucking dinner through a straw. Gaff's working the Tyrell break-in, and Steele's working special undercover. Looks like you got this one by default.
You really know how
A schizoid glitz, but we got the call. Old man Runsiter lost something like 1 billion chinions worth.
10 to 1 this ain't a job for Rep Detect.
You got something better to do? Perfect your French cooking, maybe?
Slumming tonight, Slim?
I thought you were on special assignment.
Wasn't too damn special after I had the suckers. A couple of fours were masquerading as fibroplast insulators down at Kaiser. Oh no, there's a beautiful little thing in here called the Magic, and it ain't ever been wrong. You develop it, you got a brilliant career ahead of you.
I'm working on it.
What's Gouza got you doing tonight?
AM at Runsiter's.
Animal murder. Oh, those skin jobs got no respect for anything that truly lives and breathes. And that goddamn Eldon Tyrell ought to be zipped into a body bag and flushed into deep space.
Get rid of him, we'd be out of a job.
I think we're all overdue for a little off-world paid vacation. You can stop staring at my ass.
You got eyes in the back of your head?
All you gotta do is ask, Slim.
Animal sales was a profitable and prestigious business since most real animals had died out after the Terran War. There were plenty of electric ones, though, powered by rechargeable batteries. No self-respecting human would own one of those frauds.
Find something?
Piece of chrome. No, I think it's horse chrome. Bag it and tag it.
Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ?
Scratches and paint flecks, and I knew what they meant. Jet black fire truck, somebody had a big fat traffic ticket coming.
Mấy giờ tôi sẽ tới đó?
What do you know?
About 30 counts of animal murder and one of aggravated
Ông
assault.
đó đang nhìn mình.
The shop's been trashed. You ought to see this tiger cub they got in
Tôi
there.
rất mong á, anh
It's a
ba
goddamn
làm
tragedy.
How's old man Runsiter holding up?
State of shock. He's been moaning and complaining about his world caving in.
You'd feel the same way if they were your animals. How many perps?
At least 2. Bloody footprints all over the scene.
Must be a delightful sight.
Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ? Ăn ở đó.
Find anything else out here?
Zilcho. Row actions inside. Abstract art. All over the walls and ceiling.
Anh đang nằm
I
nhanh.
never did appreciate art.
Ông đó đang nhìn mình. Mấy giờ tôi
Canvass
phải
the
tới?
area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for 2 very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other... Hair. Big caliber, possibly off-world combat weaponry. Ballistics might give me a fix on it. Security camera. It'd be a banner day if it recorded anything before it was shot out.
I'm ruined. Devlin was involved in this heinous act. She's the young girl who works for me.
She's responsible for all this mayhem?
No, of course not. It was 2 men acting in concert with her, obviously.
Obviously. What'd they look like?
Big and scary and absolutely malevolent. All my animals.
Tell me about this Lucy.
There's not a lot I can tell you. Wild. She's about 14 years old with pink hair. A very attractive young thing.
How'd you find her?
She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's in the Northwest Zone. And he's a very reputable wholesaler.
You treat her well?
As well as any young tot should be treated.
She got a desk? Or someplace where she worked? You got any discs from that camera?
It's irrelevant. Those murderers also destroyed the camera. Thousands of chinyens worth.
Maybe it photographed them before they shot it out.
I believe this from last night.
Peachy.
My precious one. She was my baby.
Dig reference from Ogilvy's.
Yes, it's somewhere.
Well, isn't that cute? Could they have been replicants?
Who else would be capable of such barbaric acts? was my baby.
You ever do any business with the Replicant Corporation?
I resent that accusation.
Just wondering.
Officer, last May I...
Corporation?
A couple of genetic designers are old friends of mine.
Such
Mainframe. For functioning entertainment model Nexus 5 replicants from Off-World Service, Dr. Eldon Tyrell, speaking at a shareholders meeting, denied allegations that the model was defective and possibly dangerous.
The simple fact is that the model wasn't performing its designated function. There was...
Uploading personal database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete. Scanning video disk. 2 enhanceable images found. Adding enhanceable photographs to Kaya database. Run sitter crime scene.
Hello there, Lucy. Give me a hard copy of that. A sushi menu from Howie Lee's. Copy of that.
Run Sitter crime scene.
He looks familiar. Give me a hard copy of that. Local license plate. Give me a hard copy of that.
Standard issue off-world military hardware. Heavy caliber, That puppy can punch right through a tank.
What can I conclude from that?
Whoever used this piece didn't just walk into their local sporting goods store and buy it. Those babies are collectibles, and they ain't cheap.
Anything else?
We got the animal corpses from Runciter's, but there wasn't a whole lot to work with.
Bone marrow?
About 50% were real, the rest were fakes.
So, Runciter was ripping his customers off.
State-of-the-art fakes. Miles beyond the crap you see on Anamoid Row.
The kind that comes from legit manufacturers?
They're the ones that usually produce the quality.
What about the wounds?
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife, like the perp was really pissed off at something.
Butcher knife?
Could be, but who cuts meat anymore?
Nice bunch of reps I'm tailing. Hope you're not pulling a meat cleaver out of my back next week. Anything else?
That black paint you found on the fire hydrant? It's from a ground car.
You sure?
The angle of impact was almost head-on. And there ain't too many spinner drivers klutzy enough to smack a street level TOL mode.
I heard your wife got her license back.
You're a real funny guy, McCoy. It's okay, not what I call a classic.
Anything else?
Zip, man. Try me later.
Can't go on permanent leave and you get full use of the office, Lieutenant?
You know the procedure. Dump it all in the mainframe upstairs and I'll read it later.
Sorry to bother you, Lieutenant. I was just checking in.
We'll get back out there. Those reps ain't retiring themselves.
Yeah, suicidal targets would make my job a lot easier.
Everybody's got a job, kid.
Roof.
Since most sea life had become radioactive after the Third Terran War. This girl ever eat around here?
Nah, all guys didn't look like the old man.
you're a master chef.
You not come back here.
Kind of a personality test. Totally routine.
Routine? Ah.
A big guy run past here?
Hey, maybe spare some ginion?
Sorry, pal. All I got are hundreds. Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was gonna root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. Lightning Squad, Rep Unit, Battle of the Gemini. I'd fought for the freedom of the off-world colonists. The poor guy kind of reminded blacks who had killed and died for America, yet weren't allowed to drive. I've gotten all I can from that. Locked.
Chill it, man. Just took a wrong turn back there, that's all.
Take your business elsewhere.
An excellent idea.
Rumor has it you've been earning your stripes, McCoy.
Working on it.
Keep it up. You just might have a future in this business.
I understand it's got a hell of a retirement plan.
I checked with UN Air. Looks your rep swung that they're Nexus 6s, so don't take too much slack.
Gotcha.
You VK the mark before retirement?
Didn't have to.
Apartments.
That black paint you found on the fire hydrant? It's from a ground car. The angle of impact was almost head-on, and there ain't too many spinning drivers klutzy enough to smack a street-level hydrant in VTOL mode.
Scratches and paint flecks, and I knew what they meant. Unless the city had bought a jet black fire truck, somebody had a big fat traffic ticket.
Not a lot, I can tell you. She's only worked for me for a short while. She's about 14 years old with pink hair. A very attractive young thing. I'm absolutely certain Lucy Devlin was involved in this heinous act. She's the young girl who works for me.
She's responsible for all this mayhem?
No, of course not. It was two men acting in concert with her, obviously.
This guy lives across the street. Says he heard looked out his window and saw a black sedan speeding away from the scene. This woman says she saw that kid who worked for Runciter hanging around with a big fat guy last week.
She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's in the Northwest Zone, and he's a very reputable wholesaler.
The shell casings from Runciter should be in the Museum of Military History. They're from an Ender rifle. It's standard issue off-world military hardware, heavy caliber. That puppy can punch right through a tank. Whoever used this piece didn't just walk into their local sporting goods store and buy it. Those babies are collectibles, and they ain't cheap. Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife, like the perp was really pissed off at something.
Howie Lee's. Bryant once got food poisoning there, so he shut it down for a couple of months. Now it was always good for a freebie. Howie Lee's in Chinatown. I'd eaten there myself. Big caliber, possibly off-world combat weaponry. Ballistics might give me a fix on it. Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for two very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for two very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even.
About 30 counts of animal murder and one of aggravated assault.
Lightning Squad, Rep Unit, Battle of the Gemini. Zubin was the first Nexus 6 I'd come up against. There was something in his eyes, an almost primordial desire to live. Most of the
Portrait of the sleep-deprived.
Got your delivery here, man. Can you control your rat?
I'll have you know that Ricky's a purebred Chihuahua. I think you should be going now.
Understand good, it holds deep meaning for me now. Where be your research on
The organ designers, Miraji, Hannibal Chu, Luther and Lance, they're...
where?
DNA... Oh!
You one miserable package, man.
No! No, please, no!
Hope you aren't camped out there with a bottle of tequila.
Very funny.
Early bird slays the worm, McCoy.
Don't worry, I'm up, Lieutenant. What's the buzz?
One of Tyrell's employees got his fat face splattered all over the marble interior of the Tyrell building.
Inside?
I was angry with my friend. My wrath did grow.
Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Here you go, baby. Dinner time.
Roof.
campaign, Governor Kolvig promised a bold new plan of action to clean up the worst regions of the highly toxic debris that surrounds our city, the so-called KIPPL. Just how much progress has been made since then? We spoke to the governor just before his weekly meeting with the city council.
Our studies have shown that the KIPPL's effect upon Los Angeles is minor. The radiation and toxic waste is contained in relatively small pockets, all miles distant from the city center. Nevertheless, cleaning things up out there is a wild goal, especially with the thousands of specials living on the city fringes. For now, all I can say is that we're looking at several options and a proposal.
Uploading personal clue database. Base transfer complete.
You're Spencer Gregorian, right?
No. Detective, she already tested me earlier today. Spencer Gregorian. I really think my lawyer should be here.
Just keep your pants on, Spencer. Forced to eat worms.
Hazing's illegal.
Oh yeah, you're really worried about breaking the law. What's the most embarrassing?
The lack of empathy. Have you ever taken this?
I don't need to. I know what I am.
So do I.
Are you taking any drugs?
No. How does your machine work? Is it a lie detector?
Not exactly. Your verbal responses aren't what's important.
Absolutely not.
You rent a mountain cabin. On the walls, someone has hung old maps and Currier and Ives. A deer's head is mounted above the fireplace. A full stag with developed horns.
Growing fast. As more and more people spearhead the movement towards...
Save the pitch for someone who gives a shit.
We're peaceful people, Detective. We live by a... 2 centuries ago, humans were held in slavery. Brave souls formed an underground railroad.
So, you help replicants escape the city.
I'm talking figuratively, Detective.
Sure you are.
We're not children, Detective. We have resources. Justices perpetrated by a sick society that you have helped...
A lot of them will wake up dead. A jerk.
My migraine's acting up.
Roof. Lockup. Ground floor.
After his hemorrhoids get lanced. You really been surprising the troops around here, kid. Gaff says you worked that retirement like a champ.
Just doing the job.
Yeah, well, don't get too cocky. Those sixes are damn unpredictable.
That I know.
But I'm proud of you, my boy. Why don't you take the rest of the day off? You know, shouldn't take more than a couple of days.
So, the check's in the mail.
Hey, don't worry. The boys upstairs want to keep our best and brightest happy. Any idea what you want to spend it on?
I was thinking maybe a companion for my animal at home.
Forget that. Buy yourself something nice. Once you start carving up that juicy bacon, kid, the taste never goes away. The great things in life, believe me, you'll just be wanting more and more.
Sorry to bother you, Lieutenant. I was just checking in.
Well, get back out there. Those reps ain't retiring themselves.
Targets would make my job a lot easier.
Kid.
Mainframe laboratory. Roof.
McCoy, LPD.
A minute.
Where do I go?
Grav test on the east wing, 66th floor. Here's the footage from the security cameras. You get a pretty good look at the man's face.
How'd he get past you guys?
He pretended to be a delivery man. Dr. Eisenduller ordered in a lot, so it didn't seem unusual.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes.
Sold at the stands and shops of Animoid Row. A takeout box from Kingston Kitchen. The float chamber, but I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him. I'd seen more dead animals than live ones. I'd seen more dead animals than live ones in the... 3 of them. I thought about Maggie and nearly threw up. This hearing yours?
Maybe it belonged to that other cop who was up here.
You spot anything? Tell me.
Absolutely.
Didn't say anything about me working with a partner.
Oh, in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. Could be it's linked to this Tyrell debacle.
How's yours connected to mine?
I'm still fitting the pieces together. You know the Moonbus massacre that went down last month?
Gaff mentioned something about it.
The rogue skin jobs probably flew to Earth. And one of them is a demolitions expert, similar MO to your Vic upstairs.
Hell of a coincidence.
I'll call you if I find out anything more about your case.
security as tight as a drum, if that's what you're asking.
Somebody tried to access restricted data from the terminal in Dr. Eisendoller's office.
But they couldn't get in.
Yeah. Looks like Dr. employees. You friendly with Eisendoller?
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus, Dr. Eisendoller, he almost never left his lab.
He afraid of somebody?
I think it had something to do with the air outside, and the germs. I once heard him complain about it.
Smart. What was his job?
Scrub Test Chief Engineer. The lab runs tests to see how a replicant would perform in different planetary gravitational fields. That kind of thing. One of the other engineers could tell you more.
How do I get in to see the big boss?
You don't, unless he wants to...
Okay. How do I make him want to see me?
Well, you could call his personal assistant.
Who is?
Don't know, offhand.
Yeah, I get the picture. You know if anyone lost an earring like this one lately?
Not one of the employees. This is a strict dress code around here.
How did Eisendoller's moo-moo fit in?
Hey, you know, company rules only apply to the lesser mortals.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.